This morning, be generous and get this season. There are a few things you may want to think about first. Certified Financial Planner Joe Bert is here to let you know more about it. Happy holidays, sir.
Same to you, Tom.
So, with the holidays, people are feeling a little bit more charitable than normal, perhaps.
This time of year.
What do they need to be careful about when they pick a charity to give to?
First of all, it's a legitimate charity. It has to be what's called a 501c3. You can go on the IRS website, irs.gov, and look up charities. And if it's not on there, you don't want to give it because you won't get a tax deduction.
So any charity that is
a 501c3, it's a legitimate charity, right? And by the way, some people think, I can tell in my practice, people think that they're going to want to give a gift to their kids. They confuse gifting and charitable. Giving a gift to your kids, you can do that, but it's not a charitable deduction, even though kids may be.
So a lot of people donate clothes, household items, things like that.
Right.
Are there guidelines with those that are a little bit different that you need to worry about?
Generally, if you're going to give stuff under $250, you want to get that receipt that they give you, you itemize what it is, so on and so forth. If it's over $500, you have to get an appraisal. So you got to be tax deduction.
Is that for any one item?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you've probably seen those signs on the side of the road or the ads to give your car to the charity and get the tax deduction. Well, what they do, they don't give you the tax deduction for the value of the car. When you give them the car, they take the car to the auction, and whatever's auctioned out at the auction is what you're going to get. So if you think your car is worth like $4,000 or $5,000, and it goes to the auction, you get $1,000 for it, that's your deduction. So
you need to think about that.
You want to know about that, yes.
Okay. Now, a lot of people just give cash. So what's the best way to do that and make sure you actually get the deduction that you deserve for?
Well, the best way, of course, is to write a check or to put it on a credit card and have a receipt. And if the donation that you make over time is over $250, in order to get the deduction for that charity has to send you a receipt and an acknowledgement. And you can put it on your credit card. Even if you come December 31st or something, or you want to put it on a credit card, make that charitable contribution online, even though you pay for it next year with your credit card payment, you get the tax deduction this year.
Now, I noticed you said a receipt and an acknowledgement. What's the difference?
Well, if you want to get an acknowledgement from the charity, that is, if you're giving a contribution over $250, that's correct. Yeah.
So what's the difference between a receipt and an acknowledgement?
Well, it's the same thing.
Okay.
You want to get an acknowledgement or some form of receipt that you have given more than $250.
Okay.
Right?
Now, if you don't itemize, can you still do this and take deductions?
No, the deduction only comes if you itemize your deductions. So.
Okay, so you have to reach a certain level.
You got to be able to take it. If you take the standard deduction, you don't get the charitable contributions, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't make them. Remember, you want to give until it feels good.
Exactly, exactly, and that's exactly right. Yeah. But if you do plan to get the tax deduction, you do need to do a little bit of homework.
Well, you want to be sure it's a legitimate charity. You want to be sure that if you're giving something over $500 in terms of an item, that you have an appraisal for it. And if it's in cash or some form, that charity needs to send you an acknowledgement, a receipt or something.
And if you want it on this coming taxes that you're about to file, you need to do it before the new year starts.
You want to write the check before December 31st, get in the mail, or you can put it on a credit card. Even though you're going to pay for it next year on the credit card, you still get the deduction this year.
All right, Joe Bert, great stuff to know.
All right.
Thanks. Have